Have you been up Everest yourself?
I've filmed 3 times on Everest, but I've never been to the summit.
Okay. Is that something that you would like to have done?
I think so. Yeah. I would love to have got the perfect summit shot, taken my camera there and shown people what it's like to do those last 20 steps to the summit.
What about, Jace, could you Google up something like queue to the summit of Everest, and you see pictures this day and age of like 100 people in a queue. Maybe it's not 100, maybe it's 50 people.
Oh, it's a recent thing of people dying in the queue.
Yeah.
Make it 200. Oh, it's what happened. Of course, the famous picture happened earlier this year when, I don't know, we could at least 200 people. It just normally with Everest you get a few windows of weather to get to the summit.
Yeah,
there we go. That was good. Well,
what was that headline? 11 dead on Mount Everest, one of the worst seasons on record. That's this year.
Yeah, it's because people. Yeah, it's because I saw this the other day. People are
dudes
waiting
like
and dying because of the weather.
Dudes at the bottom.
Yes.
So they're spending longer than they should be because they're having to stay still because of the people in front of them.
That's right. Yes, it's well, there we go. That's a classic photograph.
That's ridiculous.
That's the summit's just up near the top there, and all those people are at extreme height, breathing oxygen, and if they're there too long, the oxygen will run out.
There's also the death zone up there that you get above a certain height.
That was above it. Yeah,
and your body starts eating itself.
Yeah.
So it seems to be, well, I mean, see the numbers are going up. I guess that's because also there are more people. I mean, very few people would have died prior to 53 because maybe no one's been right to the top. But post 53, as it's become a commercial tour, a commercial operation.
Yeah. It just that the weather forecasting is so good these days that people know when the little windows. They need about a 3-day window to get from base camp up and back safely.
Right.
And it so happened that this year there was only about one good window, and everybody knew that they had to be. So that explains that photo, especially that was the day that was best to climb Everest, and the whole 600 of people that were trying that year. Virtually most, not all of them, but most of them tried on that day. So, and by trying, I mean you're attached to a fixed line. They take there's a rope basically from base camp to the summit of Everest in little stages, but you have to you're staying on that rope, and it's very hard to get past the person in front of you.
And is it one rope? So what about coming up and coming down?
Well, no, it's only one rope as far as I know.
So therefore, if there's 600 people, there's
places,
600 up and then 600 down.
Yeah, I think in some places there are 2 ropes, but up there where but it was only 1 rope. So it's very hard. People coming down are trying to get past all the people coming up. And but as the main thing, if you're up there too long, you only have a finite supply of oxygen, and then you're stuck in a situation where you run out of oxygen, and it's much more dangerous.
I've always thought about people filming. I think that IMAX filmed that terrible climbing tragedy. It was in the mid to late 90s.
Yes, yeah.
And I remember some facts and figures about, people who break a toothbrush in half to make their load lighter going up Everest.
Yes,
there was these dudes carrying, 30-kilo cameras, sort of thing. What's it like to be a filmmaker in that sort? And not that you've been to the summit, but certainly in low oxygen areas, lugging around all this big film equipment.
It is pretty hard. It's with the IMAX camera, I think they had 4 Sherpas or 5 Sherpas carrying it in bits, and they assembled it on the summit. But even the cameras I've been using, and I've been pretty high on Everest, and it is harder, and especially hard. One of the key elements of taking good video or anything is to hold your breath. So the shot becomes still. It's fairly steady, but so it's much harder to hold your breath up there because often you're not using oxygen. Most people only use oxygen during the top part of the ascent. But often the lower down you're not, but you get very breathless very easily, especially if you're trying to use the camera. So,
that was the I forget the gentleman's name. It's embarrassing, I've forgotten his name, but the famous story about the Kiwi who made the phone call from on Everest.
Yes,
terrible. I look at that 600 people, whatever it was, that queue, and I just go, why? It seems that perhaps we've lost the Ed Hillarys of the world, the people who actually cut a path, And there's that saying is, if I see further, it's only because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. It's like everyone's trying to stand on his kind of shoulders now, and but they're not just standing on their shoulders. They're standing on their shoulders in their padded shoes with comfortable jackets, being held up by another group that's actually the ones kind of pushing them to the top. So it's almost like, respectfully to people who have climbed Everest, I never have, never will, have no intention, not interested. Kind of they're kind of pseudo-eds. They're sort of, I don't know. It sort of feels like I hear people using the phrase nerfing the world. We're nerfing the world. You're wrapping everything in spongy stuff so it doesn't hurt anymore. And although obviously climbing to the top of Everest is a huge achievement, no question about that, there feels like there's an element of nerfing the world because compared to what it was, it's so easy now. It's not easy, but compared to what it was,
that's true.
It's not the same.
No,
it's not the same insurmountable effort.